Nitya Liga Pravista Vaishnava Savabhana Shri Jagannath Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Shri Gaudiya Vantacharya Shri Baladevi Bhushan Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Narottam Das Srinivasacharya Shamananda Prabhu Traya Ki Jai. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhakti Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Das Raghunath Sat Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Saruttam Roy Ramandri Shri Gaura Prasad Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem se go Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Siananta Dweep Mayapur Shivanta Dweep Godruma Dweep Maja Dweep Gold Dweep Rudri Janudri Moda Dhruva Dweep Rudra Vimakashi Navadip Dham Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Go Gopi Go Govinanda Das Baramakashi Bhaja Mandala Ki Jai. Shri Radha Kund Shama Kunda Ganga Yamuna Tulsi Devi Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Shri Mati Vrinda Devi Ki Jai. Shri Paramasi Yogamaya Ki Jai. Shri Kopishwara Mahadeva Ki Jai. Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhaji Sudha Sanchakari Ki Jai. Shri Chatra Mandala Ki Jai. Sarvigna Vinasa Nrsimha Bhagavan Ki Jai. Bhakta Prabhava Shri Palad Maharaj Ki Jai. Charidam Ki Jai. Chari Sampradaya Ki Jai. Charya Ki Jai. Karma Siraja Shri Chaitanya Mat Ki Jai. Shri Keshaji Gaudiya Mat Om Tat Sakasa Samura Ki Jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Shri Ramayan Ki Jai. Shri Ramanki Ki Jai. Shri Tosi Das Ki Jai. Rantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan Yoga Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaisnavinda Ki Jai. Samagata Bhakta Vinda Ki Jai. Shri Nitai Gaura Premanandi Hari Hari Om.
Literally coming in 2 minutes. Then we'll start.
Huh?
2 minutes and then we'll start.
Well, can I just go into the prayers?
Yes. No, it's because I was going to play the...
Oh, yeah. Well,
You can...
what? You come in when you...
I'm literally going 2 minutes.
Okay. Vandeham, we do the Vandeham prayers. I don't do it super slow, just together, we can do all together. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Parakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Scha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatam Nitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savarutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Shakam Pitam Sha Om Jnana Tirindhasya Janandana Sarakaya Shakshunitam Jaina Tasmai Sri Guru Rama Namo Vishnu Padaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayani Tinamine. Do you have a book? There's a book.
Oh, yeah.
There's some right behind you as well. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Rupanagopalaram Rajarasarasitam cha Narayanam tam prapanam Shri Guru Charanam Vande Ramana Prastaya Bhutale Rupanuga Bhaktiram cha Kripamutim Narayanam Shri Krishna Lila Katate Sudaksham Aduraya Madhuraya Gunaishtalutam Paramvarenyam Purusham Mahantam Narayanam tam Sarasi Namami Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Shri Keshava Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Vamaniti Namine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Prastare Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nivishesha Sunyavadi Pasachada Satarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Acharya Simharupine Shri Srimad Bhakti Prajna Keshavaiti Namine Atit Madhya Charitraya Savistatam Chakarine Jiva Dukke Sarataya Shri Nama Premadayane Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Riti Namine Shri Vashabhanavi Devi Daitaya Kripadaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnane Daine Prabhavena Madhu Jala Premadya Sirupanuga Bhaktida Shigora Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namasute Namaste Gauravani Shimute Dinatarine Rupanuga Vinuda Patsidanta Jantaharine Namo Gora Kishoraya Shakshapayrakya Mutaye Vipalambara Sambhore Paramujayate Nama Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Surupaya Rupanuga Varayate Varavi Bhavagume Stvam Nidesha Sajana Priya Vaishnava Savagamo Shri Jagannatha Nama Panchakalpa Dhruvyaschа Kripa Sindhu Vevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahavanindaya Krishna Premabhadayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaurachishe Namaha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagapate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosite Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishvanu Sujadevi Pranamami Haripriye Jayatam Sujato Bango Mama Manda Makati Matsarvasya Param Dojo Radha Madana Mohano Divya Vrindanya Kalpadrumaro Shimaragana Samaranasko Shimarara Shiva Govinda Devo Prasevari Sirmana Swanami Shimara Sarasarambi Vamsiva Tafta Sita Kasham Vena Sune Gopi Gopinata Shiyesana Vinde Tulsi Devaya Priya Kesava Sacha Krishna Bhakti Paridevi Sachavacha Namo Namah Panchatarpamakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Sarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktayam Bhakta Shaktikam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadara Shri Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Okay. Would you like to sing? Gurudev Kaveta Karuna Prakashana. Page 35. You have to learn to move the phone. Kave Kava Karuna Prakashi
Pavana
Oi Vaishnava Thakura Daya Rasa Edase Karuna Kori Oi Vaishnava Thakura Daya Rasa Edase Karuna
Nityananda.
So go on to the next one. Excuse me 1 minute. I'll
No
be
problem.
right back. Because the cold is
Excuse me, do you want to think for Nityananda?
Yeah.
Is everyone sang?
Yeah.
Everyone sang.
Not everyone sang, but no one wants to sing. So.
I'll be back.
Shy crowd.
No, Jagtamdi is not in.
I don't think I know any songs. I don't mind singing, but I don't know any songs.
Okay, no problem. I'll sing one and then you think of one while I'm singing, okay?
Yeah, nice.
I'll do Jaya Jaya Jagannath Sachidananda. 65.
Where's Jackass?
Okay. Just remember to turn the shirt while singing. Jaya Jaya Jagannath Sachidananda Tribhuvane kore ja charana bandhan Jaya Jaya Jagannath Sachidananda Tribhuvane kore ja charana bandhan Jaya Jaya Jagannath Sachidananda Tribhuvane kore ja charana bandhan
Jaya Jaya Jagannath Sachidananda I need to send people with a link or how they can come on. I don't have Facebook on there.
I will send you the link. I'll send you the link. Okay, would you like to sing?
I just want to do this right now. Yeah, I can do that, but I need to do the streaming now. Who can help me with the streaming?
The streaming is on.
No, but I need to tell about 5 people how to get on it.
Are they on WhatsApp?
Oh.
Are they on the group?
Yeah, on WhatsApp.
I can put the link, it's fine.
So where are you going to put it?
On WhatsApp.
On
Bhakti
Bhakti
Sangha,
Sangha.
okay.
Okay, so I'll transfer it from Bhakti Sangha to my
Yes,
group.
that's fine. Yeah.
Okay, I'll just wait.
Yeah, okay.
So much technical. I
Yeah,
have no
I
idea
know.
what they're
If
talking
you're
about.
going to do that now, then I'll do.
Then you
Yeah,
can
we-
sing.
We
Good.
can't play
Okay.
this next to that. 'Cause all
What
the
page
sound
is it,
over
Phoebe?
boundaries.
What page is it? You know.
Nadia, go to me. You
I
say,
should know. I sing it every
Nadia, go to me.
I know she's
163. So I'm saying that if you play too loud, then all the sound is going there. So don't play this.
I would love to sing that song, but I have to do this first.
Oh, you want to sing Nadia Buddha?
Yeah.
Okay.
People
Alright,
waiting.
let me just-
Yeah.
So we have a virtual audience as well.
Yeah.
Better be careful what jokes I make then.
What?
I better be careful what jokes I make. No jokes. No jokes.
You more cross.
Okay, so Bhakti Sangha. It's not live, it's not showing me, where is it? Is it live right now? It's not on
Are
the...
you connected to the Wi-Fi here?
No, the Wi-Fi is not a problem. Anyway.
That's the only question I know how to ask technical questions. On the island of Godruma, the land of Nadia, the
Send the link
personality,
of his
Sri
translation.
Nityananda Prabhu has opened a marketplace of the holy name for the benefit of all living beings. There he calls out, O persons of faith, persons of faith. On the order of Sri Gauranga, O brothers, I beg these arms from you. Chant the names of Krishna, worship Krishna, and follow the instructions of Krishna. Being free of offense, chant the holy names of Krishna. Krishna is our mother, Krishna is our father, and Krishna is the treasure of our life. Give up all sinful behavior and live your life with Krishna at the center. The essence of all forms of religion is to show compassion upon all living entities and chant the holy names of Krishna. Jai Nitai.
Okay.
Are we ready yet?
Yeah. Chaitanya, you want to sing a song?
She still wants to make sure her people are connected.
Send me the link on the group.
Okay, we already sent it.
Okay. If you want to play this, then move this away because then all the sound will go down. Maybe put it here or something.
Yeah, okay.
Nityananda Ram. Actually, while she's getting ready, I can just fill in with something that I might not be able to fill in later on. All of these leelas it'll become very evident as we speak later on how all of the leelas are very much connected with each other. We have, you ready? All right. If we know, like from Chaitanya Bhagavat, which is by Vrindavan Das Thakur, we hear how in the pastimes of Lord Nityananda and Lord Chaitanya as children, they used to play the Leela of Ram and Lakshman and Hanuman like this and the whole thing. And even while they became so absorbed in the Leela, there's a part, we will touch upon it later on, where Lakshman is hit and he has 24 hours to live because he's been hit by a special weapon by a very powerful warrior. We'll talk about him a lot later on. Indrajit, how he got his name and where he got his powers from, what his powers were, and how he was actually the most powerful warrior. And for him, the whole battle might have been lost. But anyway, he wounded Lakshman, and everyone was so absorbed. Lord Nityananda and his friends. And then they, one person remembered, oh, this is Ram Leela, this is where Hanuman is supposed to go and get this Jiva nerve, right? Sajivana. So he tells him, the boy that's playing, who's Hanuman, huh?
I can't hear a thing.
Oh, he I'm sorry. This is just an introduction to you. So just to give you time, I was mentioning how Lord Nityananda and his friends used to play this Leela, Ram Leela, and how Nityananda as Lakshman was wounded, and so someone remembered to take the boy who was playing Hanuman and tell him to go to the mountain and find the Sanjeevan herb and bring it back. So the point I was making is that all of these Leelas are very much intertwined. We hear how Mahaprabhu twice he displayed the form of Sadbhuj, once to Lord Nityananda in Adi Leela and once to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya in the Madhya Leela. He displayed 6-arm form, Sad, 6 Bhuj arms, right? So he had his Prema Purushottama Leela as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu holding a danda and a begging bowl, a pot, and his Leela Madhuri is playing the flute, it's Krishna, and Madhyarama Purushottama, Ram. He had the symbols of Ram. What symbols of Ram were? What symbols of Ram?
Arrow.
Huh?
Arrow.
Bow and arrow, yes, bow and arrow. So we were just introducing Lord Nityananda that way for you by giving you time. So now you can sing.
Would you like the microphone? Yeah.
Only for the sake of the people who are listening online.
Okay. Oh, I see. Yeah. You can bring that to her first and then follow it with that.
It's fine, just stretch it on.
You should make it. Should be 1 minute. Yeah.
Nadia, Nadia, go to me, Nityananda Mahajan, Patyakshena Mahasya Jiva Karan.
Nadia Kodrume Nityananda Mahajan Patyakshena Mahasya Jiva Karan.
Nadia, Nadia Kodrume Nityananda Mahajan, Patyakshena Mahasya Jiva Karan.
Oh, you know also what I want someone to sing tonight?
Harinam Tour?
Jaya Jaya Deva.
Mangal Gita.
You can do that, right?
Yeah.
What page is it on? I don't think in the book it has the where everyone sings, but everyone knows what to do. Because it's appropriate to this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Chanaka Sutta.
Yeah, yeah. It's appropriate.
It starts with Shrita Kama, doesn't it? Shrita Kama. Page 352.
I can never lead it because I vacillate between two different tunes.
I only know like one melody.
That's all, whatever you do is
There's Gurudev's melody that he also likes. You know the one that Muni Maharaj said. It's really sad, kind of separation.
pathetic. Oh, do you know a pathetic one?
Yes, but I would probably need like other Kirtanias to keep in rhythm.
Yeah, because it
very
vacillates. Yeah. I know what you mean,
Yeah.
it vacillates. So we're going to do the, what's the... oh yeah, it's written there, good, you know. Hare Krishna Govinda Gopala. No, but you lead the whole thing.
352.
Nice.
Excuse me, is there anyone chance you can make the moving brighter than that? I'm going to try. Jaya Jaya Deva Hare Jaya Jagannath Hare
Jaya Jaya Deva Hare Jaya Jagannath Hare
Hare
Before we start?
20 minutes, 25 minutes.
Before, okay, so you want to do something?
Just sing a bit more, a little
Yeah,
bit more.
because I'm going to get something warm because I'm cold.
Oh, something warm?
Yeah, my jacket.
Oh, your jacket?
Because the door's open. No, no, okay.
Sita Ram Hare Hare
Hare
All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to First of all, let me offer my respectful obeisances to my spiritual masters, Lord Grace, I see that Sangha, Srila Prabhupada, who mercifully saved me from a terrible condition and brought me to his lotus feet and to the process of devotional service. Equally, I offer my respectful obeisances unto my Bhajan Shiksha Guru, His Divine Grace and Prabhupada, Srila Narayana Maharaj, who sprinkled my kripa with the desire for Radhadasyam. So today is a very auspicious day. On this day, we celebrate the appearance of Lord Ramachandra, his birthday. We also celebrate his defeat of Ravan in Sri Lanka and his coming back to Ayodhya with Sita and being received by all the residents of Ayodhya. So I believe you want to start a drama at 8 o'clock?
8:15.
8:15, okay. I'll try.
So we'll need a bit of setup.
We'll need to summarize as much as possible. After all, Valmiki wrote 7 cantos but thousands of verses in each one. And the Itihastas, the Puranas, the Mahabharata Purana also mentions Rama Lila, and in these Puranas we find things that aren't mentioned in Valmiki's Ramayana. Also, Hanuman had a Ramayana that he chanted, and we have Tulsidas' Ramanasa Charita, which is like the Rasa Tattva of the Ramalila, from the point of view of a devotee who's not only savoring the pastimes, but revealing what's going on in the minds and in the hearts of the different participants in the Ram Leela. So we'll try to restrict ourselves to 1 hour. And we will begin because, after all, the first thing we have been given is the Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam. So we will begin Ram Leela from there. Very briefly, We know that from the descriptions in the Srimad Bhagavatam, that the four Kumars, they tried to enter Vaikuntha. And because although they were very old sages, and they were practicing celibacy, they had kept their forms as little children. So from when they approached the gates of Vaikuntha, Ram, Jai and Vijay didn't let them in. They were not dressed appropriately. Of course, as part of the Leela, the four Kumars, they cursed Ram and Jai and Vijay to fall down into the material world. Narayan came out, hearing the commotion, understanding what had happened, because it was all happening under his direction. He gave Jai and Vijay the choice to come either as 7 times as devotees or 3 times as demons. And because they were attached to their service, the gates of Vaikuntha, they decided to come back as soon as possible. So they took birth 3 times as demons. This is significant for us because the second time they appeared, after appearing as Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, which we will not tell that Leela now, they appeared as Kumbhakarna and Ravan. So we can understand that I hope this is offered to someone else. Yes. Jai Vijay. So they appeared as Kumbhakarna and Ravan. Afterwards in Krishna Leela they appeared as Shishupal and Tantaka. And again, in Danya Kali Yuga, they participate in the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as well as Jagai and Madai. You know? So it's good people are saying so they know. Alright? So the original, they say the original Ramayana is from Valmiki. So we must first of all touch upon the story of Valmiki. How did Valmiki become Valmiki? Who was he before he became Valmiki? Who was his spiritual master? Like that. So we're all familiar with the great sage Narada Muni. And most of us are probably familiar with the story of Mugrari, the hunter, right? Mugrari used to have killed the animals. Angira Rishi and Narada Muni were traveling. They saw this. They said, why are you doing this? At least kill them completely. Don't just half kill them to watch them suffer like this. Anyway, we know the story. Eventually, Narada Muni initiated Mugrari and told him to chant Rama. But Mugrari was so sinful he couldn't, so he told him to chant Mara, which is death. Death, death, Mara, 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 Mara. Eventually he chanted Rama, Rama, and he became purified. Yeah? Similarly, there's another hunter thief, dacoit. That's the word, dacoit. He lived by hunting and he also lived by stealing. So he was, his name is Ratnakara. So Narada Muni this time was traveling through a beautiful forest by himself. And Ratnakara was waiting to find someone to rob and kill, like that. So he jumped out and surprised Narada Muni. You know the story? How many people know this story already? Raise your hands. Oh, you don't know this story? Haribo, I get to say something I haven't heard before.
You just stay quiet.
Okay. Oh, okay, thank you.
Pretend that we knew.
Krishna, thank you. Oh, you just say you knew. Yeah,
No, I never did.
Many Indian devotees know these things because they've heard from childhood these stories. So Narada Muni, he was surprised by Ratnakara. Ratnakara is asking him for all of his wealth. And Narada Muni smiled. He said, if you mean money, I have no money. I have no possessions. All I have is this simple cloth that I'm wearing. I have nothing else I can give you. But he looked at Ratnakara with great loving compassion, the glance of the spiritual master. if any of you have ever had the good fortune of being stared at by Srila Gurudev's piercing blue eyes. And if you had the good fortune at that time that as he was looking at you, he was looking at you with love and compassion, seeing right through you to your soul, and you knowing that he knows everything about you. This Narada Muni did to Ratnakara. So Ratnakara melted. He was transfixed by Narada Muni. And Narada Muni explained to him pretty much the same way he explains to Murari, you know, there's something called the law of karma, and you're going to have to pay for all of this stealing and killing that you're doing, you know. And if you want, I will initiate you into a mantra, and you can become purified from the reactions of all your sinful activities, and you can become free from this lifestyle that you're leading. Ratnakara agreed, and he was initiated into the chanting of Rama. Rama, 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 Rama. After some time he became so purified that he was able to see all the pastimes of Lord Ramachandra before they happened. This is a long time. Now, the pastimes of Lord Ramachandra actually didn't happen in the last trade, happened in a previous trade millions and millions of years ago. But the exploits and the pastimes of Maharyatma Purushottama are so great, the incarnation of Dharma, righteousness, that they survived to this time. They survived. And even now, there's like a great revival in India. They want Ram Raj, they want the kingdom of Rama. They want to go back to the really good old days. Right? What is that? During the reign of Lord Ramachandra, no one was hungry, no one went thirsty, no one even got sick, no one died untimely, no children died before their parents. Parents passed away in bliss and spiritual consciousness with a smile on their face. In the days of Lord Ramachandra, he had elephants throwing perfume water all over the streets and perfume liquor, so not even this, there was no horrible smells anywhere. Everything was beautiful. Buildings were made of coral and jewels. And there were gardens everywhere. And everyone was dressed in the finest garment, no matter how so-called low their profession. Even then, when we hear about Ayodhya, Srila Gurudev would say, "Do we want to go to Ayodhya?" And what would the devotees say? No, no. Because in our line, we have a specific goal. And later on, if I get a chance, I'll read something in the Bhagavatam, where Srila Prabhupada explains that the residents of Ayodhya in this world, they were being trained up for the other world. And he explains that, just like he explains in Krishna book, that first you take birth in a place where Krishna is performing his pastimes, you get trained up following a particular devotee, and then you go back to the spiritual world. It's not that, we saw Krishna and said, "Oh, Krishna, you're really not that great. I'm going to go to the material world and try to enjoy." It didn't happen that way. We were never with Krishna. We didn't leave Krishna like that, no? We didn't misuse our freedom, our minute independence. So, Prabhupada says in Srimad Bhagavatam, in relationship to Ram Leela, that the devotees that participate in this Leela, which hopefully we're about to hear, they all go back to Ram's original abode when he closes his pastimes, which is a pastime in itself, which we hopefully will get to right now. So Valmiki, when he completed his Ramayana, he was very, 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 very happy, and he thought, a bit of pride came in. When Narada Muni came in, "I've completed Ramayana, you recited to me," and he did. He was almost a bit proud. And Narada Muni said, "Very good, but I've heard better." "I'll make it better, but I don't foresee these in the future." There's another Ramayana. It says, "Yeah, Hanuman Ramayana." Hanuman appeared. And Hanuman sang the pastimes of Sita, Ram, Lakshman, Hanuman in such a beautiful way. In fact, if we get to the Leela, when Hanuman has jumped across and is in the garden with Sita, before he even drops the ring that was given to him by Ram for Sita to see, and announces himself as a messenger. First, hidden in a tree in the form of a small monkey, he chants his version of the Ram Leela. And Sita, she comes out of her distress and of separation and her distraught condition, having been kidnapped. And she hears Hanuman's Ram Leela, and she's very, very enchanted. And so that comes later on, like that. So Hanuman chanted this for Valmiki. And Valmiki was, oh boy, it's so much better. So when Hanuman, being the devotee that he is, he saw that Valmiki was despondent. So he grabbed his version of the Ramayana that was written on banana leaves, and he ate them. He says, now your Ram Leela is, Valmiki Ram Leela is better and will be considered the original and the supreme. So you see, devotee always wants to please the devotees. He doesn't want to see the devotee pain and distress like this. So, as I mentioned before, there's the Valmiki Ramayana, the Itihastas and Puranas. Many Puranas make reference, not only Srimad Bhagavatam, but Padma Purana, Markandeya Purana. So many of the Puranas, they make reference to the Ramayana. And like all of Krishna's pastimes, the Ramayana is always manifesting somewhere in the universe, somewhere, not just in the spiritual world, but always manifesting somewhere in the material universe, to collect those devotees who are inherently Ram Bhaktas, who are made of love for Ram. Inherently, their seed is like that. But our acharyas, they are so powerful because Krishna Swayam Samabhapamapamam. Krishna is the source of all incarnations. So our acharyas, being Radha Krishna Bhaktas, understanding that although chronologically Sita and Rama appear before Radha and Krishna is the origin of all the Lakshmis, including Sita. Radharani is the origin of all Lakshmis, including Sita, like that. So because they're on that platform, they can nourish Ram Bhaktas as well, by their presence, by their katha. They won't change a Ram Bhakta into a... Even Lord Chaitanya didn't do that. Lord Chaitanya had devotees, Murari Gupta, who were inherently devotees of Rama. He didn't try to change. He said no. He encouraged them in his devotion too. And as we mentioned before, many didn't come. Gauranga Mahaprabhu, he showed Lord Nityananda and he showed Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya a Sadbhuj form, 6-armed form. 2 arms playing the flute as Krishna, 2 arms as his renunciate form as Mahaprabhu with the begging pot and danda, and also holding the bow and the arrows of Lord Ramachandra. So he showed as avatari that he is non-different from Ram and Krishna. So Srila Gurudev makes a point that we should not think that if we delve into Ram Leela that we're no longer one-pointed. Still one-pointed, because in terms of tattva, there's no difference between Ram and Krishna. And in terms of Leela, the 2 Leelas are intimately connected. I'll rush all the way to the end. After Sita has left the planet and Ram is again feeling great separation, he does 13,000 sacrifices, and each sacrifice he makes a golden Sita. And he puts these golden Sitas in a temple. One day he enters the temple and he hears them all saying, "Oh my dear husband, when will we be with you again? We are here in this temple suffering your separation between all of these sacrifices, because each sacrifice took 1,000 years to perform. When will we be with you again?" And Ram said, "When I come as Krishna, you will all appear as my gopis." So we see that these pastimes are intimately interwoven. But let's get to the beginning of Ram Leela. So, The Srimad Bhagavatam describes a great lineage. What's the word?
Lineage.
That's the one, right? Culminating in Daksha. So Daksha Maharaj, his name was such because Dash means, did I say that? Dasarat. I didn't say Dash. Dasarat. Rath means chariot, and Dasa means 10. So Dasarat was so named because he had gone in all 10 directions, and he had managed to conquer in all 10 directions. So in a sense, although he had many fellow kings that they were like considered brother kings, he was in general accepted as the emperor of all the kings. He had conquered in all directions. But he wasn't constantly warring with these kings, they were like friends. So Dasarat was one time, in his story is that he was in a forest, and he's practicing what Kshatriyas do in the forest, hunting, and because they had, for a Kshatriya to kill is not considered sinful because it's part of his swadharma. He has to kill sometimes to protect the weak and the innocent, like that. And to be able to kill, he has to practice his skills. So Dasarat was in the forest doing this. I'm going to go back even further. To a different time, Dasarat was in the forest doing this, because it's significant. And he was practicing a skill where it was dark, and at night he would try to hear where an animal might be, and without seeing where the animal was, hit it with his arrow, like this. Dasarat was practicing this. Unfortunately, he made a great mistake. There was a young boy. This young boy was taking care of his invalid parents. And he happened to be by a river with some clay pots collecting water. And Dasarat thought that sounded like an animal drinking water from that stream. He shot his arrow in that direction. And he accidentally killed the boy. He came to the boy was dying. He was, I'm so sorry. And the boy said, oh, please, my parents are completely dependent on me. They're invalid. Please take my body to them, explain what happened so that they can have closure, so they don't have to wonder and speculate, where's my son? Where's he come? Why hasn't he come back? We're dependent upon him. So Dasarat took the boy, explained to the parents. The parents were distraught. They were so distraught because they were in such a frail condition, they left their bodies. And as they were dying, the father of the son, he cursed Dasarat. You will have to experience separation from a son, and you will also die from that separation. Like that. So that actually wasn't the original story I was telling you. I was telling you a different story. Another time, when Dasarat was in the forest, and he was practicing his skills, and he became fatigued and hungry, and not too far away, there was a Haribo. He became tired and hungry, and he decided to go to a friendly king that he knew nearby that particular place that he was in the forest. That king was Kaiteye, with an E at the end, and who was the father of Kaiteye. We usually say Kaiteye, right? We just say Kaiteye, but the two names are slightly different in pronunciation. God knows how to pronounce anything correctly. I get it all wrong. I'm just got a terrible American New York twang in my voice. I'm sure I pronounce all these names wrong. But suffice to say, he went to the father of Kaiteye, who became eventually his second wife, right? And her father ordered her to take care of Dasarat, and she took care of him very, very nicely. So when it was time for Dasarat to return to Ayodhya, he requested his friend if he could have his daughter Kaikeyi as a wife, if he could keep her. Because at that time, according to the ancient Varnashram system, a king could have as many wives as he can maintain. We hear in Krishna had 16,000 wives. Yeah? You need to to organize something?
No, yeah, they're all getting ready for the drama, so.
Okay. And you're in the drama, right?
I'm the narrator.
And you're not in it this time?
I'm not in it, but I'm in it.
You're in it, you're the narrator, okay. Hopefully you'll get to see visual during the drama of some of the pastimes.
I was just going to say, before you continue, that we will need some time to set up, at least 15 minutes before.
Whenever you tell me,
yeah, okay.
I'll stop.
Okay, no.
No matter how much I've left out, que sera, what will be, will be. You know? I'm not even speaking the way I planned to speak. It's coming out different.
Gora had one question.
Okay.
He was asking why King Dashrath was killing animals.
Because he was the duty of a warrior is to fight, to protect old women, children, and those to protect the innocent. But we don't like the idea of anyone killing anybody, especially now, although it's going on like anything horrible for all the wrong reasons in Kali Yuga. But the warrior kings had a duty to be able to fight and be able to kill for the protection of the citizens. And for that they had to practice. So for a Kshatriya, there's no sin in killing an animal for the development of his art. And in fact, sometimes Kshatriyas were even allowed to eat meat because it made them more powerful, gracious, and mean. Like that. But this is not to be confused with the Rakshasas. The Rakshasas, like Ravana, they ate human flesh. Like Supernaka's Ravana's sister. And at one point, if we get to the Leela, she wants to eat Sita. Like that. So that's like taking it one step too far. The Rakshasas, they eat human flesh, like cannibals. Like that, So Kshatriyas not all cannibals, but some Kshatriyas are, the demoniac ones, right? So to protect you from a demoniac cannibal that wants to eat you, the other Kshatriyas learn how to fight and kill them. Got it? Okay, good. So how did we get onto that? Where were we? Can you remind me? Oh, and we got Dasarat, Kaikeyi, right? And so she asked for her as a wife, and her father just laughed at it. He said, "You have 360 wives." Although in Rama and Satcharita, only the 3 are mentioned, not the 360, but in Valmiki's. So there's some differences in the different versions of the pastimes. But the 3 were prominent, right? Kausalya and Kaikeyi and Sumitra, right? These were prominent. But at that time, according to Valmiki Ramayana, he laughed at him and he said, "You have 360 wives. My daughter is so qualified. She's so beautiful. She's so powerful. Why would I give her to a king unless I'm sure that her offspring will become the king of that particular kingdom?" And Dasarat said, "Oh, don't worry. Although I have 360 wives, I don't know if they're barren or if I have a problem, but I haven't had any sons, I haven't had any children." Like that. So, if by any chance Kaikeyi has a child, then I will certainly promise that her son will become the king of Ayodhya. Remember that. So fast forward many years later. Hare Krishna. Many years later, Dasarat decides to employ a rishi. I'm trying to remember the rishi's name, but I can't. I know it's within it. And the rishi does a special sacrifice, and from that sacrifice, an amrit, a nectar comes. And the sage says that if you give this to your wife, certainly they will become impregnant. They will have sons. Srila Prabhupada makes the point in the Srimad Bhagavatam in the short 2 chapters in Canto 9 on Rama Leela, that this was to demonstrate that Krishna doesn't appear in some ordinary way. Ram, Krishna, they all appear in extraordinary ways. So, with the nectar, he gave the full amount to Kausalya, his first wife. Kausalya, in turn, gave a portion to Kaikeyi. Kaikeyi and Kushalya in turn gave a portion to Sumitra. So Sumitra, she got 2 portions from 2 different directions. She had twins. And they were Satrugna and
Bharat.
no, Bharat is from Kaikeyi.
Lakshman.
Shatrugna and Lakshman were twins.
Huh?
Shatrugna and Lakshman were the twin sons.
So, that's right. So from Sumitra came Lakshman and Satrugna. From Kaikeyi came Bharat. And from Kausalya came Ram. So Ram was also appeared first, so he was the eldest son. And he was the, and by normal tradition, just like in this, in England, Harry was a spare because he wasn't destined to become his brother was. So Ram was destined to become. Yeah. So one time, Satrugna and Bharat, they were visiting the father of Kaikeyi, and at that time, Dasarath thought that he would have his Ram made into the king, like that. The crown prince, they call it, like that. Crown prince. And everyone was in complete agreement. Yes, we should do like this, we should do like this, like this. And so they started to prepare for a coronation ceremony to make him the crown prince. Now, Kaikeyi, she had a servant, and the servant was Manmantara. And she said to him, "Oh, you silly princess, don't you know that if Ram becomes the king, then you have to become the servant. You will be your son Bharat will be the servant. So you will be the maidservant of a servant. Your prestige, your position will be so greatly reduced like this." Now, so happens that Kaikeyi, I remember I mentioned she was very powerful, right? She was so powerful. Dasarath was also very powerful. So much powerful that he had been invited by the demigods to become commander-in-chief in their fight against the celestial demons. Because demons aren't only functioning on earth, they function everywhere. So the demigods always fighting the demons. But Dasarath, although he was a human being, they asked him to come. And he went with Kaikeyi. Kaikeyi served as his charioteer. So, just like when Krishna kidnapped Rukmini. Rukmini was the charioteer and Krishna was fighting all the other kings and that. So the Kshatriya ladies were very, like Nalini, very powerful. They have Shakti, they can command like this, Kshatriya women. And everyone, okay, when. So Kaikeyi was especially powerful, so much powerful that during the fight, in some places say that the wheel of Dasarath's chariot, a bolt became loose. So she reached over and she stuck her finger where the bolt was supposed to be and kept the wheel going as she continued the chariot and Dasarath. And Srila Gurudev says that she jumped off the chariot and she held the chariot in place of the wheel with her strength as Dasarath defeated all the others. Like that. Whichever version you accept, probably both are correct. They just happen at different times in different universes. Like that. So, Dasarath was very much indebted to her. And he said, "I want to give you 2 boons, two benedictions. One, because you were my charioteer." Some say at a point when Dasarath was losing, she took him to safety and brought him back to life and then brought him back so he could win. So you drove my chariot and you also saved my life. Like that. So 2 boons. Whatever you want, you can have. And she said, it's my duty to serve you. I don't want anything. You must, okay, later. Sometime when I really feel like I need something, then you can give me these 2 benedictions. So Mantara, she knew, he said, your husband, he gave you 2 benedictions that you can have anything you want. You should ask that Bharat become the king in the place of Ram, and that Ram be exiled to the forest for 14 years. Now, at that time when Mantara was trying to poison Kaikeyi's mind, because Kaikeyi was very happy if Ram would become the king, she remembered a time many years ago when Lord Ramachandra was just a little child, 6 or 7 years old. Actually, Kaikeyi loved Lord Ramachandra so much, even as a child, she actually spent more time with Ram than with her own son, Bharat, out of affection. And at that time, because whenever there's Leelas, there's the Mundata, where the Lord is covered and he forgets his Supreme Personality as Godhead, and sometimes he Sabagya, he remembers, and to aid the pastimes, he does certain things. So at that time, as a child, he said, Mata, you call her Mata, Mataji, you like me? You like? Yes. You do anything for me? Yes. I want you to, you swear you will do what I say? Yes. You take Achman and swear? Because the Kshatriya took Achman and swear in a vow. It's like when the Brahmins would take their thread, I swear, I curse, or whatever, So when, the Arjuna did like that too, he swore. He said at one time, I am not Vishnu, I am not Krishna, I am Arjuna, and I will bring back your sons from, he said to the Brahmin, from Yamaraj, the court of death. I will go and I will bring them. So Kshatriyas like that, do or die. They have this mood. So Ram was asking him, you promise? And he said, in the future when I grow up, Daddy will ask you, will be ready to grant you 2 boons. At that time, I want you to have me banished to the forest for 14 years and place my brother Bharat on the throne as the king. She was like very surprised. And no, you have to promise him. So she promised. So now fast forward again. Mandara's poisoning her mind, and she remembered, oh yes, I promised Ram that I would do this. She didn't want to do it. Actually, later on, Gurudev said that she was the real hero of the Ramayana because she had to bear so much. When Bharat came back and found out that his father had died from separation from Ram, and because Ram had been exiled to the forest and like that, he said to Kaikeyi, you may be the princess, but I will never call you mother again. For a mother to hear that from a child, very, very painful. So she had to tolerate so much. Actually, throughout the Vedic literature, you read the ladies and the women have to tolerate so much, just like in our organization. Anyway. No, I make this point very strongly because so much time, the women should be like Sita. They should be completely submissive to their husband. Women should serve their husbands. They should be completely submissive. The Vedic woman has no freedom, no independence. Okay, if you want to seek the first be a Ram. Right? If the men really, really practice self-control as brahmacharis and really, really provided for their women when they married for them and really, really, really did the business they're supposed to do as men, of course the women would be chaste and submissive, right? But if the men are lampara, why would the women be encouraged? In Kali Yuga, everyone's Kalo Sudra Sambhava, everyone's born less than a Sudra, no one has any good qualities, So as difficult as wonderful as the real original Devi Varnashram is, it's very hard to put the circle in the square peg or vice versa. Anyway, we digressed. Where were we? What happened?
How much she has to tolerate? How much insult she has to tolerate?
Yeah, she tolerated, but there was something else. Oh yeah, so she agreed. She agreed, right? And Lord Ram was banished to the forest. Of course, there's a whole Leela before that as children where Ram and Lakshman especially were trained in the ashram of Vashishta Muni, in the martial arts and in so many other 64 arts like that, and they were very joyful times. But we kind of fast forward it, because according to that, I got like 10, 15 minutes or something. Anyway, and we haven't even gotten to that. So Dasarat had been cursed to die, and separation from his son, and this all came to pass. And in this regard, Srila Gurudev mentions that Nanda Maharaj, he lamented that he wasn't as loving as Dasarat was, because when Krishna left Vrindavan, supposedly, left Vrindavan, Nanda Maharaj said, I'm still living in my body. Dasarat, he couldn't contain it. He passed away. He gave up his body. But I'm still living in this body. Therefore, Dasarat had more love for Ram than I have for Krishna. This was the mood of Nanda Maharaj. But Gurudev explained that Nanda Maharaj deep inside understood that if he gave up his life, then Krishna would be displeased. So to please Krishna, he maintained his life. And this is also the purport, this whole Leela here with Kaikeyi, in that she was only interested in whatever pleased Ram, not in how she would be treated or how she would be mistreated like that. Actually, Bharat, he decides that he's not, although the coronation for Bharat begins because it was, Dasarat had agreed to it, to these boons and like this sort of heavy, and they were glorifying Bharat for many, many, many days. So many, and why you're qualified and why you should take like this. But then Bharat, after, you can say whatever you want, but I will never accept this kingdom in place of Ram. In fact, we're going to find them, So he went with all of his armies and everything. They went to this river, and there was, I forget the name of the boatman. He saw them coming. He was wondering, well, maybe they're coming to finish Ram and Lakshman. Bharat's whole entourage is here. And Lakshman thought the same thing when they finally crossed the river like that. But actually, they were coming in the mood to beg Ram to come back. And Kaikeyi, she asked Kausalya, take me with you. It's my fault that this has happened. So I will also supplicate. And she went to Ram and she said, it's because of the benediction I had, and because I asked Dasarat to put so I want to take it back. I want to take this back. I want you to come back and be the king. But Ram said, no, brother. He said, now it was not only you, but my father as well, who said that this should be, and now my father's no more. He's not here. So how can he say that I should accept the kingdom? He said, no, I won't do like this, So they at this point, Vashishta Muni, who had trained Ram and Lakshman, was really, really desperate. And he said, we need an authority figure. And we need someone that everyone will accept and everyone will do what that person says. Because right now, all of Ayodhya is like a ship without a rudder. It doesn't know which direction to go, and it's capsizing and it's about to sink. He said, so Vashishta Muni suggested we should go to the the father of Sita, Janaki, the daughter of Janaka. And he should decide what should be done. We have to have when it can't be decided what should be done, we have to find an authority who knows what should be done, and we should do that, like that. So there was this great debate that went on. And Bharat, he went on and on and on and on and on. Why Ram should be the king. And Ram also made an argument that his madhyam, his duty, was to follow the order of his father, and his father had said like this, so he should not be the king like this. So Janaka, he listened, and Vashishta Muni, he posed as the authority because he said, I'm biased, I'm on the side of Bharat on this. I want Ram to come back, so I can't, make an unbiased judgment. So the debate went on, and Janaka listened, and then they turned to him to see what his decision was, and he said, actually, in this discussion, Bharat has won the debate. He has won the debate because his arguments are based on priti, on love, on service based on love, whereas Ram's arguments are based on duty, like Vaidhi Bhakti kind of thing, externals. Actually, in the past times of Lord Chaitanya, in the discussions between Ramananda Roy and Mahaprabhu calls all of Varnashram as superficial and external. Ultimately, he says, this is dasam das pradasa. He's simply the servants of the servants of the servants. This is the overall crowning principle. Doesn't matter what your birth is, high-born, low-born, whatever. Everyone can take to spiritual life, and this is all beyond Varnashram. Varnashram is just a platform to make it easier to come to bhakti like this. This is established in the discussions with Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Roy, like that. So in the same way, Janaka is saying, Bharat is arguing on the principle of love. And so his love is as deep as an ocean. And although Ram's madhyama is like a mountain, it can crush the ocean, still the ocean runs deep. So he won. But Bharat should consider something. He is speaking that out of love, he should do that Ram should be the king. But out of love, have you yet to inquire what Ram wants? And then it was almost like when the Guru gives you a slap. He woke up, he realized, actually, yeah, I've been thinking in terms of what beneficial for me, what I want, what will give me pleasure. But Ram's saying that he wants to follow the order of his father and go. So again, we see that the real principle of bhakti is to please Krishna, to please Ram, not to do what we want. To follow the order of the spiritual master, no matter what. There's an old English thing, he is not the reason why, he's just to do or die, right? There's a poem, Charge of the Light Brigade, like that. So the devotee is like that. He is not the reason why. He's just to do and die for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna, like this. So when Bharat, he said, okay, now I get it. I have to surrender to Ram. If I'm making arguments on love, then I have to do what Ram wants. So Ram was pleased by this, and he said, okay, because your arguments are so good, after 14 years, after the curse is over, yes, I will come back and I will set the kingdom. But I want that you should rule in my place. Bharat said, I agree, but I won't sit on the throne. And if you're going to live in a forest as a mendicant, I will not accept the dress of a king or a prince or anything like that. Neither will I eat like a king or a prince. I will eat roots and berries and fruit like you in the forest. And I will also sleep on the floor. In fact, I will find a place outside of Ayodhya, a little place, build a hut, and I will take your shoes and put them at an elevated place. And when the citizens and the ministers can't decide what to do, they can come and I will meditate, and whatever message I get from your shoes, that I will do. I will ask them to do like this. So one may question, if Brahma is in the forest with Sita, Bharat is outside of Ayodhya, and all of Ayodhya is suffering in separation from Ram, how did things really go on? And this is where Tosi Das points out the glories of Shatrugna. Shatrugna, although he took the same vows that Bharat did, not to dress like a prince and not to live the lifestyle of a prince and to eat the same simple foods that Ram would be eating. He kept the residents of Ayodhya enlivened. He said, oh, you know, it's been foretold that Ram is going to come back. Do you want him to come back to a dilapidated city, to a rundown city, to an ocean of tears, or do you want him to come back to a happy place? He is giving us the perfect example of duty. What is your duty as citizens? Ask not what your country can do for you, like that sort of thing, but what you can do for your country, what you can do for your king, right? So the citizens, so Sadhruvna, although often he's kind of like lost in the, actually he took on the responsibility of keeping the citizens of Ayodhya enthused and to keep everything in good preparation for the return of Ram. So they all had, okay, so we have to move on to other devotees in this thing, you know, especially Mother Sita. Sita was so qualified. And although her feet were so delicate and she had lived always as a princess, she insisted upon following Lord Ramachandra into the forest, Dankaranya, and then later on Panchal. And Lakshman also as his devoted brother. They followed Lord Ramachandra. And there's so many pastimes. Actually, there's one pastime where I can't remember if this was when he was in the ashram with Vasishtha Muni or when he was already out there with Lakshman. But at one point, Marishi came, and Ram sent an arrow that was so powerful that Marishi, the same one that later comes back as a deer, sent them, blasted him all the way to Sri Lanka into the ocean, you know, with one mystical arrow like that. You know? So Marishi comes in contact. That's why later on, when Ravan asks Marishi to confront Ram, he's like, I'm not so sure about that. I think I want to do that. And then Ravan says, well, if you don't do it, then I will kill you. So he's thinking, well, be killed by Ravan, the demon, or be killed by Ram, the supreme personality. Okay, I'll be killed by Ram, the supreme personality of God. That way I'll get liberation, you know, like that. So even though he was a demon, he was. Don't think that the demons didn't know. You know, sometimes, like Ravan is often depicted as very, very ugly. Actually, you know, he could manifest that hideous feature. But when he wanted to, and in his normal being, he was actually very beautiful, very attractive. He was an expert player of the Veena. He had beautiful features. He was strong. He had so many wives. All the wives were attracted to him. They felt protected by him. It's not that they, you know, that of course, there is a story of how he became, you know, why ultimately he could force himself on Sita. And that story is, let me get it in my mind real quick. Yes. I wrote in my notes the names. Yes. So Kubera, the son of Kubera, Maligriva and Nala Kubera, right? We hear about them in Krishna and Leela, right? So Nala Kubera, he had a very beautiful wife, Aspara. I forget her name. Very, very beautiful. And when Ravan saw her, he wanted to force himself upon her. And although she tried to say no and get away, he brutally raped her like this and left her crying somewhere in, it said, on a sandy shore near a forest. Nala Kuvera, he was looking for, where's my wife, where has she gone? And he heard her crying. And she was so ashamed, she thought that he would blame her, but he could see by her condition. So who's done this to you? And then she explained that Ravan did this to him, you know. So Nala Kuvera, he cursed Ravan that if he ever forced himself on another woman again by rape, that all of his, because he was able to manifest 10 heads, all of his 10 heads would explode. Like that. So later on, after he kidnaps him, we'll see that when they do the play, the kidnapping, because I asked him, what are they going to do in the play? And this is one of the things, where Ravan kidnaps Sita, and he's trying to force himself upon her, he can't. Because he knows unless he gets her to agree to enjoy with her, then his heads will explode. And of course Sita's not going to agree in any way. In fact, just after Supernaka had her nose cut off, right? Do you know this? Does anyone doesn't know Supernaka and what happened with Supernaka? Raise your hand if you don't know. Supernaka, the what? Do you know? You know? Anyway, very, very, very quickly, because it's another one. Supernaka was in the forest. She sees Ram. She becomes lusty after him. She wants to become married to him, right? Like this, you know? She approaches Ram. Ram says, why would you marry me? I have a wife. You should marry my brother Lakshman. You know this story? Yeah. Okay. Like this. So they go back and forth. Then she realizes she's being played. Then she goes to eat Sita, and Lakshman cuts off her ears and her nose. She runs back to her brother Ravan, and she says that these mere human beings have disfigured me in this way. You should go back, take vengeance on them. And by the way, the very beautiful Sita is there. You should have her like that. So there's another. Everything. There's so many interrelated things, but some things I'll have to skip. Why did I digress to this Leela? Do you know? So right after Supernaka, there's another Leela that comes right after Supernaka. But my mind is I already told the story of why Ravan couldn't force himself. But there's another Ravana story. Oh yes, here's the story. Ravan had a benediction from Lord Brahma. Ravan, as a demon, again, as I was saying, demons, they were knowledgeable, they did sacrifices, they worshipped demigods for benedictions. And Ravan had done many things to please Lord Shiva to get benedictions, and he had pleased Lord Brahma to get benedictions. And one time he was actually with Lord Shiva in Lord Shiva's abode. And Lord Shiva said to him, I gotta go in there because I don't want you to go in there. That's all part of it. He went in there. And in there he found a pot of nectar, a nectar of immortality. And he stole the pot and he kept it hidden inside his belly like this. So this is why later on in the battles, when Ram is trying to kill Ravana, every time he cuts one head, another head grows like this. But another hero in this whole Leela comes into play, and that is Vibhishan. Right? So the reason why Ravan was so powerful, and Kumbhakarna was so powerful, and Vibhishan, these three brothers were all very powerful. They had spent many, many years on a mountain doing austerities. And in the, just like in the story of Hiranyakashipu, he also did. So, by the way, Valmiki, the reason why he's called Valmiki is because he was covered by a hill of ants, and Val means ants and Miki means hill, and that's how he became Valmiki. But anyway, just reminded an incident I didn't mention. But these three brothers, they performed austerities and they became very powerful. But they were very different natures. Kumbhakarna, he was very much controlled by the mode of ignorance, tamagun, which means basically his preference in life was to eat and sleep. This is what people in the mode of ignorance, as long as I have food, as long as I can sleep, I'm in bliss, I'm happy. So Kumbhakarna was like that. For 6 months he would eat, and for 6 months he would sleep. And he ate so much, he became so big and very powerful. Eat, sleep, eat, sleep. Ravan was totally in the mode of passion, right? I want more, I want to enjoy that woman, I want power, I want passion. Complete passion. But Vibhishan, he was influenced by Satvagun. He was in a mode of goodness. And his austerities resulted in him deciding, I want to live a moral and dharmic life. I want to always be on the side of the correct thing to do, like this. So Vibhishen, when Ravan kidnapped Sita, Vibhishen was saying, my dear brother, this is going to bring you complete ruination. This Sita, she is cursing you, and you'll have to accept the result of this curse and lose everything. You will be completely destroyed. This is not in your interest. You should return Sita to Ram immediately. He was begging him, please do like this. And when he was trying to convince Ravan, other members of the household would hear the arguments, and they were like agreeing, yeah, actually he's right. This path of adharma only brings complete destruction. Even though we're rakshasas, this shouldn't be done. This is not in your own interest, but they were too afraid. In fact, Ravan was so powerful that when his wife was pregnant with his son, he was also a great astrologer, he ordered all of the planets, thou shalt align in such a way that everything auspicious will be in line when my son is born. And they were so much afraid of him that they obeyed. They obeyed. All of the planets, they all aligned in the 11th house, so that his son would be the most powerful and the most indestructible person. All except Shani. Shani is Saturn. I know Saturn. My chart is dominated by Saturn. Saturn means difficulty and austerities like this. Saturn, he went in the 12th house, right? Because he went in the 12th house, he had Ravan became susceptible to being killed. Now, another thing that Ravan never expected, just like Hiranyakashipu, he tried to get from Lord Rama that I never be killed on the inside or the outside, in the air or on the land, in the sea, or like this. He tried to make everything in such a way that he would be indestructible. Ravan also did like this. When he met with his brothers, Kumbhakarna and Vibhishan, and did so many austerities, and he was going to get a benediction from Rama, the first thing is, I want to be immortal. And Lord Rama said, no, this is not possible. This is against the laws of material nature. I can't do this, he said. But you make me so that, and he went through all the different types of creations from Brahma. But because Ravan was a Rakshasa, he ate human beings for lunch, right? He didn't think to ask for the benediction not to be killed by a human being. So though the Supreme Personality of Godhead is not an ordinary human being, he appears in Nara-lila as a human being. Therefore, Ravan was susceptible to being killed by a human being, a human form, like that. So later on, Vibhishan, he tells like a spy, like an informer, he tells Ram, he says, Ram, my brother, he has this pot of nectar that he stole from Lord Shiva. He holds it in his belly and is protected by a jewel. You'll have to drain that nectar so that he becomes susceptible to being killed. So at that point, Ram takes one arrow, Brahmastra, he directs it in such a way that it blasts through the center of Ravan and removes the pot of nectar. And then very easily, Ravan dies like this. Now, I mentioned in passing that Ravan had commanded all of these celestial planets to align in such a way that his son would be very powerful and almost impossible to defeat, right? So when that son was born, he roared so loudly, it sounded like thunder. So he was given a name, Meg Ananda. Just like we say mega. Mega means great, big. So Meg Ananda means one made a great sound at the time of birth, like thunder, like this. So Meg Ananda was already very, very powerful. So powerful that at one time he defeated Lord Indra, the king of heaven, and he took Lord Indra to his place. And together with his dad, Ravan, they spent many, many years having fun torturing Lord Indra. They tortured him psychologically, they tortured him physically. It's not mentioned what the tortures were, but they were mean, and they were torturing Lord Indra, the so-called king of heaven. He had actually, it said that almost like Meghananda was so powerful that he was able to rush at Lord Indra, take him by the middle, and just carry him off. He was that powerful, just took him, like an MMA fighter, they get in the middle and they take him down like that. He knows what I mean. So anyway, so after they got tired of torturing Lord Indra, they decided, let's kill him. We're going to kill him like this. And Brahma thought, no. So Brahma came and he begged for Lord Indra's life. And he said, if you don't kill him, I'll give you a benediction. Like that. Oh, so Meghananda, he became very, very interesting. He said, okay. So what any benediction? He says, yeah. I give you, yes, immortality. No. Your dad already went for that. Can't do that, But I can give you the benediction that if you worship your local deity, because every village has a local deity, I forget the name of the deity, worship in the cave temple of the deity, you worship the deity, you do a sacrifice, then you will be given a chariot, and once you mount that chariot, no one can defeat you. Like this. You will not be able. Now this Meghananda, because he had defeated Lord Indra, he became famous as Indrajit, that person who defeated Lord Indra. Indrajit. And actually, Indrajit was the most powerful warrior on the battle. When the battle finally ensued. So of course I've skipped how they crossed Lanka and how they built the bridge. So many things I skipped. How Lord Ramachandra was going to burn the ocean with his glance, but because I'm looking at the time. But anyway, when this Indrajit, he but with the benediction, he was given a condition. And he said with the benediction, he was given a condition. And that condition was, number one, if you have to perform this sacrifice every day, especially before you go into battle. If the sacrifice is disturbed and the sacrificial arena is destroyed by someone, then that person will be able to kill you like that. And so, but he said, no, I want a condition on the condition. So what condition on the condition? That person who interferes and destroys the yagna, they must have fasted for 12 years or never slept. No, not fasted. They must have never slept for 12 years. And then if they destroy and interfere, they can do like that. Then they can kill me. Not knowing that later on, Lakshman, because he was always serving and protecting Rama and Sita, he never slept for 12 years. He stayed awake. Like in those movies, okay, everyone take a turn and watch, and then one of the watch falls asleep, and then the enemy comes in. Like that. But Lakshman, no, he stayed awake all the time. He never slept for 12 years. So he got around these conditions that Meghananda Indrajit had not to be destroyed, Funny story how, because Vibhishan was the one that told Lakshman about this. Now, bear in mind, this Indrajit was so powerful that he once defeated both Rama and Lakshman, knocked them out, right? And one time, because he was married to Sheshanag, the daughter of Sheshanag, he captured Lakshman first he captured Rama and Lakshman with this serpent weapon, right? But Garuda, who was a relative of Jatayu, which I didn't mention before, was the one that told Ram and Lakshman that Ravan had taken Sita, because he flew up to the chariot and he tried to save Sita, and his wings were cut off, and he fell like that. And then Ram and Lakshman found him when they were trying to find Sita after she left the magic circle. There's so much that I flipped out like this, but I'm hoping that most of you know most of them. If not, you're going to see it in the play like this. So where am I? Yeah, so Vibhishen had told Lakshman, so let's finish the lead. When Ram and Lakshman were captured by this million serpents, and but they called upon Garuda, who's the feather carrier of Vishnu, and also the relative of Jatayu, and he was able to chase the snakes away, and he saved Ram and Lakshman. Later on, Lakshman was hit by a different weapon, and that weapon would cause Lakshman to die within 24 hours, right? Like this, and we know the Leela. Hanuman, Janta got the Sanjeevani herbs, and like this. So this is a great problem for Lakshman, how to defeat Indrajit. He was so powerful. He had all these mystic powers. He could disappear and reappear somewhere else. So I'm fighting you, and then you disappear, and then you're behind me. He's in the clouds here, and then he's in the clouds there. It's very, very difficult to fight. He had so many black magic arts that he was master of, So he had all these mystic powers and all of these benedictions and like that. So Vibhishen, who had become an ally, actually when Vibhishen first came to Ram to say that he wanted to become his ally because his brother was just doing the wrong thing, Lakshman was like, no, we can't trust him. Just kill him immediately. He's the brother of a demon. We can't take him. But Hanuman said, no. When I was in Lanka, I heard Vibhishen say that he shouldn't have taken Sita, and he should return Sita. Therefore, I burned everyone's house down except his. When his hair was put on fire, I jumped everywhere. But not Vibhishen's, because Vibhishen, I could understand. So we can trust him. So Hanuman gave the vote of confidence, and Lakshman didn't kill Vibhishen. And Vibhishen later gives Lakshman this hint. He says to him, you have to prevent him from completing the sacrifice. Like this. I can show you a secret path to where this yajna is taking place in a cave. I can show you can go there in the dead of night, And if we disturb this thing, and because you've never slept 12, then you'll be able to defeat Indrajit, right? Now, Indrajit had already destroyed 2/3 of the entire Varna population, something like 267 million monkeys and bears. Indrajit had destroyed in 24 hours by himself. Millions and millions and millions of monkeys. Later these monkeys, they were brought back to life. That's another story. But he had killed all of these things. So when the monkeys heard that, if we sneak in and we disturb a sacrifice, what do monkeys like to do? You ask a monkey to disturb something, they'll steal your glasses even now, they'll take your phone now, and they'll get in the kitchen and break everything, that's what they, Actually, the armies of Ravan had so many sophisticated weapons, but the monkeys, they were just throwing rocks and trees all the time, they were simple kind of warfare, like this. So when they were asked by Lakshman to come in and destroy, disturb a sacrifice, great, they snuck in, and Indrajit was like, where are they? One monkey's looking here, and another monkey's there, another monkey's there. They're just like, patting stool and urine all over the place, taking the pot, turning it over, taking the wood from just disturbing the whole thing. They were expert at that, and finally, Lakshman was able to destroy the sacrificial arena. So when Indrajit saw this, he realized, the odds are now against us. The game is up. He says, now I don't have this invincibility that I had before. I need to tell my brother. I need to update him on this, So with his mystic power, he disappears. He goes to Rav and he says, listen, things have changed, He says, you can't depend upon me like this anymore. And the will and determination of this enemy and their power, they will surely come and they will find a way to defeat you. And it's better. I've been listening to Bibi Shane and what he said, and although I'm really angry at him for being a traitor, what he says immediately makes sense as a dharmic. It's working against you. And now the odds not you. You should really return Sita to Ram. And he said, "Oh, you're just a coward." So you just left. The tables turned a little bit. And you left the battlefield. Meghananda, the voice, when he was a baby, he sounded like thunder. His Kshatriya spirit is, "What? You call me a coward? After all, me a coward?" Because actually, Indrajit was more powerful than Ravan. Ravan wasn't able to defeat Indra. Indrajit was able to defeat Indra. And he became very angry, but then he calmed down. He said, "I'm talking about Dharma. You're not listening, but I will listen. I'm a Kshatriya and my Dharma is to fight, and if I die fighting and it simply opens the doors to the heavenly planets, I will go back even though I know I will be killed and I will be defeated because you're my father and I will have to do what my father says in the same way Ram is doing what his father told him to do." Nowadays, my son doesn't do anything I tell him. Or my wife, or my daughter. This is a long time ago, different standards, right? You're laughing, So I digress. So what was I saying? Indrajit went back, and Lakshman was able to kill Indrajit like this. And then, so to make a long story short, to wind up, we know eventually that Rama kills Ravana. I said how he removes the pot of nectar, getting the clue from Vibhishan. He installs Vibhishan as the king of Lanka, because he became his ally and he was pious and righteous and dharmic like this. And then Hanuman goes and tells Mother Sita, "Ravana is dead. Ram is gone." And she was so excited, she wanted to run to Ram immediately, to embrace him, that separation. And Hanuman said, no. He wants first that you bathe and you put on the dress of a queen. Actually, she had this cloth that gave her the benediction that she would be able to tolerate all the austerities in the forest, so would never go hungry and like that. She was wearing that underneath. But, okay. And she was thinking, what is this? My husband is giving up this spontaneous...
Sorry, I was just going to
How
settle
much
here.
Everyone move over here so that this plate is set up over here.
Needs to move up on the side.
I was going to do that.
Bags and
I was going to do that in the beginning before we started because I had a feeling that might happen. Yeah. Make way for the play. So he asked her to dress as a queen in a very formal way, and he took and he asked her to come riding on a palanquin. And then in front of everybody, he asked Sita to come down from the palanquin. And he said, although Ram knew that it was Maya Sita that had been stolen, because he had made, I don't know if I mentioned that before. Oh yeah, that's where the spot I left out. After Supernaka had her nose and ears cut off, Ram said to Sita, this forest is getting too dangerous, too many demons coming. I want that you should hide. So I will put you in the charge of Agni Dev and will manifest a Maya form of you. So that if anyone comes and does anything, they won't actually take you. This is not in Valmiki's Ramayana, but it's mentioned in the Puranas. Madhvacharya mentions this, Srila Prabhupada mentions this in his books, as well as in the Tulsi Ramayana, Tulsi Manasachita. So there, like I said, there are details, devotional details that are here, but they are important. Even Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he met a devotee who was very, very disturbed that Sita had been taken by Ram. How he was thinking, how can Ravana touch Mahalakshmi, the goddess of fortune? How is this possible? And Mahaprabhu was very happy to find a reference in the Puranas that said that Maya Sita was what was taken. So Ram knew this, but in front of everyone he said, okay, according to Swadharma of the wife in Varnashram Dharma, and I'm supposed to be manifesting perfect examples. I'm the king. Technically, you have been in the house of another man instead of your husband. So you need to prove your purity, and you should go through fire like this. So Mother Sita went through fire, Maya Sita was consumed, and Sita Devi was brought out like this. And so this way she proved, and then they all went back to Ayodhya in the very same Vimana, like flying saucer that Ravan had stolen from Kubera, the treasurer of heaven. Like this. And they went back, it was joyful, like this and like that. And, but years later, because there's always... in Rama Leela, there's very little happy endings. It's all heartbreak and separation and duty. So years later, because Sita in the forest had one time heard two parrots singing Rama Leela to each other, and she'd be very, very attracted to them. And she caught them, and she was listening to them. And she let the male go, but she kept the female parrot like this. So the male parrot had cursed Sita that she would be abducted and she would go through all these trials and tribulations. Anyway, that's a side thing. So, and also because the parrot was pregnant, like that. So, years later, that parrot took birth as a washerman. And when Ram went into the city, as kings would do in disguise, to hear what the citizens are actually saying about the king, he heard this washerman, who had previously been the parrot, say, "Oh, Ram may take a woman back that's been in the house of another man, but I reject you, my wife. I'm not going to bring you. I'm not like him. You cannot come back because she had been guilty of being somewhere else like this." So when Ram heard this, he was thinking, "Oh, it's the general populace." Actually, the general populace wasn't thinking, "Oh, this particular washerman was part of the Leela." And he's thinking like this, again, I'm going to have to... So he told Lakshman, poor Lakshman. Lakshman was asked to do so many things he didn't want to do. That's why Lakshman later on, when Krishna leave, he said, "I'm not coming as your younger brother, I'm coming as your older brother, Balaram. You're going to have to do what I say." That's what you say all the time. Because you just ask me to do too many terrible things all the time. So he asked that his brother Lakshman take Sita, who was pregnant at the time, to the forest and banish her to the forest. So that, as they say, there's a saying, Prabhupada used to say, the wife of Caesar must be beyond reproach, like this. So he, in that mood, because not that he believed that she was adharmic in any way, but because he had to, whatever example a leader sets, all the world pursues. So he had to give the example so that it wouldn't become a common thing that women would be taken advantage of and then allowed to be accepted in spite of their being unchaste. Because the most powerful thing a woman has is her chastity. There's so many stories of Mahabharata. Who was the one that she glanced and everything became... but because he didn't come completely naked, there was his legs, and then later on his legs were beaten. Anyway, it's another story from Mahabharata. But simply by her chastity, with her glance, she was able... Gandhari, yes. Yes, and she made the body of...
Her son.
Yes.
Yes.
Anyway, there's so many... but that's because we're not in that Leela, we're forgetting it. But the point is that when women practice chastity, they become very, very powerful. They get mystic cities. They can do so many things like that. So to preserve that value in society, that women should remain chaste, that he unwillingly banished his wife, Lakshmana, to take her, and he took her to the ashram of Valmiki. Now remember at the beginning of my talk, Valmiki had written the Ramayana before it happened, and when he saw Lakshman bring Sita, he thought, "Oh, now she has come. Now this part of the Leela is manifesting." And she had twins, Love and Kush. Right? And one of them had her complexion and the other one had Ram's complexion, but I can't remember which is which. I get the two complete. But they were pretty much twins, I guess. And Valmiki, knowing that they were the sons of Lord Ramachandra, he taught them so many arts, martial arts especially, but he also trained them in Ram Leela. And they became very expert in chanting the pastimes of Lord Ramachandra, not knowing that they were singing the pastimes of their own father. Not knowing. So there's two stories, and I don't know if the stories happen at the same time or they happen separately, but basically there was a time when, as kings do, they had to send out a challenge horse. And Satrugna had an army that was accompanying a very beautiful white horse that was decorated with gold and jewels and had a challenge sign that whoever can remove this sign, they inherit the kingdom. So in this way, this was a way of, mostly they would see Satrugna's army and they would just capitulate. Yes, Rama is the king, he's the king, he's the emperor, and you no longer take the challenge horse. But Love and Kush, they were teenagers. And they thought, oh, that's a nice horse. Like, we want that horse, you know? And the fact that there was an army there protecting the horse, didn't bother them at all. We'll take it out. And they took the horse, and they took the sign, and they defeated the army of Satrugna. You know, they defeated it. He was amazed, you know. And so, but they didn't manifest any desire, having taken the challenge horse, to become the rulers of the kingdom. So he was a bit bewildered, you know. They're doing this just for fun, you know, just to show off their ability, you know, not because they actually want to, you know, inherit again. So he went to Valmiki's ashram, and he discussing with him, and he heard this Love and Kush singing the Ramayana, and he became completely enchanted. And he said, "Oh, Valmiki, you have to bring this Love and Kush to Ayodhya." So he did like this, and Sita came in disguise. So Love and Kush went. Sita, many days, many times, because the Leela takes a lot longer than what I took to say. many days to actually cover all the intricacies of Ram Leela, not an hour and a half. So, of course, Ram became enchanted hearing this, and he became emotional. Meanwhile, the citizens of Ayodhya were looking at these beautiful boys, and they were thinking, these boys look a lot like Ram. They were already beginning to get the idea, maybe, you know, they're related like this thing. And so, when the boys came to the point where Sita was banished into the forest, and it became too much for Rama, and he became emotional. And at that time, Sita was, the boys were told by Valmiki that this person you're seeing, this is your father. Ram is your father. And Mother Sita, when she saw that, okay, now they know who their father is, like this, you know. Unfortunately, this Dharma thing can be a real pain in the, you know. Ram was thinking, okay, just to make sure, she should again have to go through fire. And Sita, again, I have to prove my chastity again. After all I've been to, I followed you to the forest, 14 years of austerities, being attacked by demons, and, you know, kidnapped by Ravan, you know, held, protected by Agni Dev, walked through fire once, then having to be banished to the forest, being the first single mom in the history of histories. You know, the first mother to have to bring up 2 children by herself. You know, single mothers know what that's all about, right? You know, and now you want to test me again? She said, if I have ever, even in my mind, ever thought of another man other than Lord Ramachandra. No. But I've only thought of Lord Ramachandra, and I've never ever thought of another man. Then let the earth open up and swallow me up. Sita's name, Sita means plow. And she was originally discovered by Janaka when he was plowing the fields doing a ritual. And so she was named after the plow. Sita means plow. So she called the earth her mother. And then from the earth's pit, a throne arose. She sat on the throne and went under. And as she was going, the earth closed. Her hair got caught where the earth was closing, and her hair turned to grass. And she left. So again, Ram had to go through feelings of separation and like this. And he began, as I mentioned before, he began to worship Sita and do so many sacrifices on her behalf to her and in her name. So many Ashwamedha sacrifices, 13,000 over each, taking 1,000 years to perform, each having a golden Sita like this. But one day, a sage came to see Lord Ramachandra. And the sage said, I need to speak to you, but I need to speak to you in private. No one should interfere. So Ram said, okay. He said, Lakshman, you guard the door, make sure no one comes in. So the sage was alone with Ram. And the sage said, I am Kala. I am time personified. And I have come to tell you, it's time for you to close these manifest pastimes on earth and to return to the spiritual world with all those who have earned the right to return with you to the region above. Ram was very happy to hear this because he had been suffering from separation. And in the eternal abode he would again be with Sita. Lakshman, oh, yay, what's his name? What's his name?
Tafarai.
What?
Tafarai.
Tafarai? Here, this is for you.
Oh.
Malini, you give it to him.
I
So,
think we are ready in a few minutes.
we're finishing in 1 minute. We're at the end. Perfect timing. That was all right. So Lakshman, he gets a visit at the door. Who comes to the door? Duvarsa Muni. We know Duvarsa, right? Duvarsa is easily angry, impetuous, wants whatever he wants, now at that time, or else, right? So, when Lakshmana went to the door, he was told that if anyone is allowed to come in, he would have to die, right? Dasarat came, wanted to come in. Lakshman said, no, you can't come in. He says, don't let me in, you'll have to die. So Lakshman put it all together. Thought, well, I'm doomed if I do, and I'm doomed if I don't, so it's my time now. So he went to a sacred river, and he took his form as Sheshanag, and went back into the river as Sheshanag, you know? The same Sheshanag whose daughter had been taken as the wife of Indrajit, but without his permission. Another reason why Lakshman wanted to kill Indrajit. But anyway, that's another story. So he went back, and then Rama, having heard, he went to the same river, and as Mahavishnu, he rejoined Lakshman in that river. So Mahavishnu on Sheshanag, and he returned to his uppercut lila, his unmanifested pastimes, and all of the citizens that achieved their siddha relationship. Shri Ramachandra ki jai, ki jai. Gaura Premanande, drama play ki jai.
I'm just going to take this away.
How long is the play going to be, more or less? It's planned.
It's quite short, so I'd say like 15 minutes.
No, sorry, because I got to make sure I don't miss my train.
It would be good if you can stay.
Yeah, definitely. I want to take a shot.
Chief Pavana, what time do you need to leave?
I think if we leave at 10, you okay? 10? Yeah. I wanted to be there by 10. 10-ish. Are you the one giving me the ride?
We're sorting out. We're going to
giving the right?
Well, I'm so young in the evening, I don't know.
You don't know who's giving the right. You find out who's giving me the right. So when time comes, I need the right.
Yeah.
Because if I have to take a bus, then it might take...
No, we're going to get the Uber to Walthamstow.
Uber?
Yeah, it's really quick.
Well, as long as I'm on time.
You need to bring
Oh, by the sorry, apologies, I'm not Ashram Maharaj. He couldn't be in two places. He probably can be. Often it seems that he is, you know. But this time he decided not to manifest that potency.
Yeah, that's it, because it will distract me otherwise.
Also, I'm sorry it wasn't exactly chronological. It was kind of like... But you know when you see those movies where they go back into the past?
Exactly.
And, so...
Haribol. Sorry, microphone's already set up, so I'll just speak. I've lost my words now, sorry.
Introduction.
Introduction. So every year for Ram Navami we have a drama, so I thought that we could not break the tradition despite wherever we are celebrating all over the world. I felt inspired to write this drama, and Jagatam Didi pointed out that Swami Prabhupada mentioned that people will watch dramas and be benefited through dramas. They will learn through visuals. So and then in that way the preaching spreads, not just through katha but through visuals and drama. So I hope you like it. So yeah, Haribol. Jai Rudev. Okay.
Good curtain holders this time.
What happened last time?
Yeah, last time.
I think it was quite low.
Okay, I think the drum is starting now, sorry. Jai Shri Ram, Jai Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Jai Shri Ram. अद्भुत है महिमा दो अक्षर के नाम की, अद्भुत है महिमा दो अक्षर के नाम की। सुनो राम कथार जय बोलो श्री राम की। सुनो राम कथार जय बोलो श्री राम की। मंगल भवन अमंगल हरि, द्रवहु सुदशरथ अजिर बिहारी। है सुफलदायिनी रामायण सुख धाम की। है सुफलदायिनी रामायण सुख धाम की। अद्भुत है महिमा दो अक्षर के नाम की। सुनो राम कथार जय बोलो श्री राम की। Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Lakshman and Ram need to be removed from the Navami. Go! Georgia! Stupid demon!
Marich assumed the form of a beautiful deer and roamed in front of Sita.
Oh, look at the beautiful golden deer. If we catch it, it becomes a sense of pride and Agoda.
That is not real deer. It looks artificial. Do not be fooled by these Rakshas's tricks.
Ram wanted to fulfill Sita's desire, and it took him far away from the hermitage. Ram struck the deer with his arrow.
Help me, Sita! Help me! Lakshman, what is that loud cry? Something is wrong. He must be in danger. Please go and search for him.
My brother is the greatest protector in the world. These are all Rakshas's tricks. I do not need to go to his aid.
How can you ignore the brother's cries for help? I do not approve of your actions.
I will go. But first, I will draw a line of protection around you, and do not, under any circumstance, step out of this circle.
Lakshman went in search for Ram. Meanwhile, a sadhu arrived at the hermitage. Sadhu arrived at the hermitage.
Can you please give me some food?
Oh yes, certainly, I can.
Can you bring it closer, please? I'm so tired, I need to sit down and rest.
Actually, I'm afraid I cannot step out. You have to come here. Please accept.
No, I don't want this food! You're insulting me!
Sita began to feel concerned about insulting the sadhu, so she stepped out. The sadhu grabbed her by the arms. He regained his form as Ravan and dragged Sita away on his chariot.
Marry me!
Nahi!
Marry me!
Nahi, Raghavi! Nahi! Nahi, Raghavi! Save me!
Eagles began flying over. A bird named Jatayu appeared and heard Sita's cries. He attacked Ravan's chariot. However, Ravan cut off his wings. Ravan then flew towards Lanka and asked Sita to become his wife.
Marry me!
Nahi!
Marry me!
Nahi! Raghavi! Save me!
Marry me!
Meanwhile, in Panchavati, Ram and Lakshman began the search for Sita, where they came across Jatayu and realized that Sita had been kidnapped.
Jatayu, I am deeply indebted by your service. Lakshman, we must go immediately and find Sita.
I've seen her. I tried to save her. I'm Jatayu. I tried to save her. I tried to save her from the evil demon, but now I'm in this condition. About to leave my body.
Lord Ram performed the last rites and paid respects to Jatayu. In search for Sita, many days passed. Ram and Lakshman walked in search of Sugriv, and they reached the river Pampa, which marked the beginning of the Kishkinda region.
Jai ki jai!
Hanuman had received several boons as a child, and one among those was the ability to take whatever form he wished. Hanuman takes the form of a Brahmin Pandit, and in this way reached Ram and Lakshman. Hanuman seems to interact with them, but the duo is not answering. He wondered that Lord Ram looked like Vishnu, who just landed from Vaikuntha, and the duo looked like sun and moon and appeared to be visiting earth on a certain purpose. In fact, the charm and aura of Ram is so disarming that Hanuman reveals right at the outset that it is not his real form, defeating his own attempt to disguise. Shri Ramachandra Kripal Bhajamana Har Bhava Bhayadarunam Navakanjalochana Kanja Mukhakara Kanja Pada Kanjarunam Shri Ram, Shri Ram.
I am Vayuputra. I disguise myself as a Brahman.
A king would be so pleased to have a spy and messenger such as this. Lakshman, this is no ordinary person.
Hanuman was educated in all the Vedas by none other than the sun god or Surya Bhagavan. Upon Lord Ram's request, Hanuman went on search for Sita. Hanuman went on search for Sita. After crossing so many hurdles, he finally arrived in Lanka. Sita was in fear after being kidnapped by the evil Ravan. Hanuman had come to her rescue, ordered by Sri Ram. She suspected Hanuman to be Ravan in disguise. So Hanuman gave Sita a signet ring from Sri Ram to strengthen her confidence. Meanwhile, on the other side, by Lord Ram's banner Sen and the help of Nal and Neel, a bridge with floating stones was constructed, which led them to Lanka.
Jai Shri Ram! Jai Shri Ram! Jai Shri Ram!
हो गई भव से पार लेकर नाम तेरा, हो गई भव से पार लेकर नाम तेरा, नाम तेरा, नाम तेरा, नाम तेरा, हाँ नाम तेरा, हो गई भव से पार लेकर नाम तेरा, हो गई भव से पार लेकर नाम तेरा, धेर लेर ने Jai Shri Ram!
Jai Shri Ram! Jai Shri Ram! Jai Shri Ram!
Shri Ram and Lakshman arrive on the battlefield. It was not so easy to kill Ravan, as he had a powerful defense and such power. A new head kept growing, and Ravan became even more powerful each time. Just then, Ram prepared his Brahmastra gifted to him by Agastya Muni. Agastya had imparted his powerful arrows to Sri Ram whilst he resided in Dandak forest. He also told Ram that whenever he needed a chariot, the charioteer of Indradev Matali will manifest. Ram attacks Ravan from the chariot. Finally, the Brahmastra pierces the chest of Ravan. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
This play reminded me of everything I left out in my talk.
Yeah, it's perfect. The combination.
When Hanuman was a baby, he was told that the sun was a fruit. So he went to try to eat the fruit, and Indra sent a thunderbolt and hit him in the jaw and knocked him out. So Vayu, who is the father of Hanuman, he went to revive Hanuman, and he had been given. That's when he got all of these benedictions and powers and brought back to life and like this. But Vayu and the other demigods involved, they understood that the nature of a monkey is to be mischievous. So it wouldn't be good for him to have all these powers as a youngin, you know. So he should forget that he has these powers. And then later on, when he meets Rama and Lakshmana in his need, he can be reminded and manifest his cities and things in the service of Rama. Also, was he mentioned when Hanuman jumped across the ocean, this one demon manifests as a Timingila fish, a huge Timingila fish, rolls out of the ocean to swallow Hanuman. Hanuman's in a big sun. That's when Hanuman, he reduced himself at one of his puppet cities. He reduced to a tiny, and he went in the mountain, came out the other end, and kept going. And when he still had this small form, like a fly, like a monkey, when he came to Lanka, and the predominating deity of Lanka had been told that if and when a monkey gets past her, then Lanka will be destroyed. So even though he was in this very small form as a fly-like monkey, she said, "Oh, it's very important that I don't let him enter," you know. But Hanuman being so small and and just defeated her. He was. So the deity was manifest, was a really big deity when she manifested, protectress of the city of Lanka, right? And he was like a little fly, and as a little fly, he punched her in the face, like an insect would do of a big person, and she was completely flattened by his little punch in the face. And then he was able to enter, and eventually he goes he finds Sita. There's so many details, so many amazing details in it. Yeah. Actually, Robin wanted to kill Hanuman, but he was given again by Vibhishan the good counsel. He says, "This is a dharma. You can't kill a messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. This is part of it." So he was okay. Well, burn his tail and stuff. But Agni, who was taking care of Sita, understood what was going on, and he made it so that Hanuman felt no pain at all. So then Hanuman got bigger and bigger and jumped around and burning. As he was burning Lanka, he was also looking and strategically seeing, observing the city so that he could tell Rama and Lakshmana and the army how to. Oh, I'm sorry you didn't hear him. You know this, Leela, don't worry. You want it too? You have a Prabhupada?
Sorry, what's that?
You don't want Prabhupada on the altar?
No, you said to put
I'm saying put them in front of Guru Day, and when we offer the flowers, we offer to them and
Oh, you're going to put like a
I was thinking exactly the same.
I don't know, we're doing a group?
We're just doing a quick Pushpanjali because it's already 9:10.
Yeah.
Not Guru Puja, but like a small kirtan for Ram while offering. But we will need to clear this space.
Yeah, I'm just doing what I'm told.
Yeah. If you can help roll up the copies. Yes, please, yes. You can roll it. I'll be great. You just roll it.
3 doesn't fall.
It's so blurry, everything in dark.
It saves energy.
Why you didn't do that before?
What?
It's so dark.
It does. No, it's you cannot see it here, but everyone sees it now. Now it's in the history.
I was like...
So finish.
Okay. Wait, I'll do it.